Here's a story you might not hear much about, but it says a lot about the state of the WNBA and the dynamics within its teams. Just recently, Tamy Fagbenle, a talented forward and seasoned international player, was released by the Indiana Fever. On paper, it might look like just another roster change, but the reasons behind her departure and the treatment she endured paint a much more complicated picture. Temi always had a strong bond with Caitlin Clark during her time with the team, but rumors have long swirled about NaLyssa Smith's alleged mistreatment of both players. Could this be the real reason behind Temi's departure? To understand the full story, we need to dig deeper into how it all unfolded. Let's start with her history. Tamy Fagbenle isn't just any player. Born in Baltimore, raised in the UK, and a Harvard graduate, she's had a storied career both on and off the court. Internationally, she's represented Great Britain with distinction, even leading her national team to historic finishes in European competition. In the WNBA, she's been a reliable presence, known for her versatility, defense, and ability to contribute in key moments. She's played for the Minnesota Lynx in the past, where she won a championship in 2017 and brought that same winning mentality to the Fever. So why was she released? Officially, the team cited roster constraints and the need to focus on rebuilding around younger talent. The Fever have been in a long, frustrating rebuild phase, and Fagbenle's veteran status likely made her a target. But there's more to it. According to reports, her relationship with the team had been strained for months, partly because of tensions with younger star NaLyssa Smith. Now, NaLyssa Smith is one of the Fever's rising stars. Drafted second overall in 2022, she has quickly become a key player for the franchise. But according to insiders, Smith didn't exactly make Fagbenle's time on the team easy. Sources close to the team have alleged instances where Smith undermined Fagbenle during practices, criticized her play openly, and even made dismissive comments about her veteran leadership. While Smith's star power has certainly helped the Fever on the court, it's clear her influence off the court may have contributed to Fagbenle's release. Fagbenle, for her part, has remained professional throughout the situation. In her limited statements, she's expressed gratitude for her time with the Fever and her teammates, but those who followed her career know that she's never been one to cause drama or create division. The fact that she found herself pushed out of the team says more about the Fever's internal dynamics than it does about her abilities or attitude. The bigger question here is whether the Fever made the right call. By letting go of a veteran like Fagbenle, they're doubling down on their youth movement. But at what cost? Veteran players like her bring leadership, stability, and experience, qualities that are often undervalued in a league like the WNBA, which already struggles with retaining its stars and fostering strong team cultures. As for Fagbenle's future, it's uncertain. She has plenty of options overseas, where she's already proven herself as a top player in Europe, and there's no doubt she'll continue to thrive. But her exit from the Fever is a stark reminder of the challenges faced by veteran players in the WNBA, especially when team dynamics and internal politics come into play. In the end, the release of Tamy Fagbenle isn't just about roster changes. It's a story about a league still figuring out how to balance youth and experience, talent and leadership. And for Fagbenle, it's a chapter that closes with more questions than answers.
Shaq went on Angel Reese's podcast this week and shared his billion-dollar idea for the WNBA.
In the next few minutes, you'll witness the moment that rattled women's basketball to its foundation. We have Shaq, Angel Reese, and a whole lot of uncomfortable truths to unpack.
Bro, a pretty girl dunking on the rim, I'm watching that all the time. You laughing.
My man is not turned on by no woman that's dunking.
It ain't about being turned on. It's about seeing stuff that you're not supposed to see.
Here's what's ahead. We'll reveal the exact words from Shaq that made Angel uncomfortable, showcase the statistics that support his claims, and explain why this one conversation could potentially alter the future of the WNBA. Stay tuned, because this is going to be intriguing. Shaq just dropped a truth bomb that has the entire basketball world buzzing. We're talking about a 4-time NBA champion, a Hall of Famer, and a business mogul worth over $400 million. When Shaq talks, people pay attention, and he certainly had a lot to say about the WNBA. Picture this: Shaq sitting there, calm and collected, as he discusses ways to make the WNBA more exciting. His suggestion? Lower the rims. Let's roll the first clip.
And women's beach volleyball, let's just say that the net is 10. For women, it's lower just a little bit. I'm not saying lower it to 9, 5, 9, 6, but just 9, 9.
Just so we can dunk?
Yes.
No.
No, see? And
I hate when men say that.
But listen, that's the only difference.
People always disrespect women regardless. They're always going to not give us the same value as a man. So I just don't even think that.
And that's why you got to do what you've been doing. Go take the
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, if you lower that thing to 9.
And what's going to happen? All right, tell me, the money going to go through the roof?
Yeah.
Not all the way down to the ground, of course, but just enough to change the game. He's suggesting lowering the rim to about 8 to 10 feet below the standard height. Why? So we can see some dunks naturally. You might think that doesn't sound too bad, but here's where it gets interesting. Sitting right across from Shaq, Angel Reese isn't on board with that idea. She fires back, making some compelling points about respecting women's basketball.
I feel like it still wouldn't be good enough. It's never good enough for a man. People always disrespect women regardless. They're always going to not give us the same value as a man. So I just don't even think that.
She then addressed the issue of people not tuning in to watch the game.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, if you lower that thing to 9.
And what's going to happen? All right, tell me, the money going to go through the roof?
Yeah.
We don't even have the people don't even watch the game.
You can feel the tension rising as Angel contends that lowering the rim is outright disrespectful to female players. But Shaq wasn't finished. He delivered a real knockout punch.
We don't even have the people don't even watch the game.
Because I don't want to use the B word. Unless it's certain people playing. It's like you're watching like a high school game.
He looked Angel in the eye and compared the WNBA to high school basketball. Yes, you heard that correctly. Shaq stated, and I quote, "It's like you're watching a high school game." Can you imagine the collective gasp from WNBA players everywhere? Let's break this down for a moment. Shaq, one of the most dominant players in NBA history, just suggested that the highest level of women's professional basketball is comparable to high school boys' games. That's not merely a critique. It's a full-blown slam dunk of criticism.
Shaq, he was trying to teach Angel Reese how to make the WNBA more entertaining. So people might actually watch the product. And Shaq is qualified to do so. During his NBA career, the dude was a brilliant marketer. He knew how to be entertaining while also being dominant on the court. There was a reason that every member of the media was waiting by Shaq's locker after games. They knew he would deliver the best sound bites. They knew he would give the most entertaining interview.
You might be curious about how this will unfold. On one side, there are people agreeing with Shaq, believing he's just voicing what many have been thinking. They argue that if the WNBA wants to attract more viewers and generate more excitement, then something needs to change.
Angel Reese, just because a man is criticizing your league, it does not mean he is disrespecting women. This is the entitlement I always talk about. Angel Reese and her colleagues in the WNBA, they have this false sense of entitlement that makes them believe that they are above being criticized. Anytime they are criticized, they want to play the victim. Men don't respect women. Oh yeah?
On the flip side, there's a large group of upset fans and players who believe Shaq's comments are disrespectful and outdated, arguing that his approach is misguided.
This is a place where players can come and get better and be surrounded by an organization that supports you. They're going to have everything they need to be successful. So
the Indiana Fever are about to make a huge move in WNBA history. They're not just aiming for one star player, not even two, They're targeting 10 game-changing free agents who could make them serious title contenders. You might be wondering, how can they afford all that talent? Well, that's where you're mistaken. The Fever have a secret weapon, Kelly Krauskopf. She's back with the team this year, and she's got a bold vision. Kelly's not here to play it safe. She's here to get things done.
I know the free agent situation in the WNBA, but are you in a position where you can add some pieces?
Yes, we are. We're definitely in a position. And I would think that if you are a smart basketball player and you watch the way she plays, you would want to play with her.
With her vast network and resources, Kelly is determined to make Indiana the hottest spot in the WNBA. Her strategy is bold, and it's already catching everyone's attention. You won't believe the plans she has in store to turn the Fever into a true powerhouse. You know that moment in a movie when the two main characters finally join forces, and you just know you're about to see something incredible? That's the vibe right now, because Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell are about to team up for the Indiana Fever.
Good thing for women's basketball. I'm playing alongside this kid, so it makes everything, a little bit more dramatic, and like the people are coming out to see this person. So we just do what we can. We embrace it. I'm pretty sure our organization can feed off of it.
Let's take a moment to focus on Kelsey Mitchell. Did you know she averaged 19.2 points per game last season? That's not just impressive. That's all-star caliber. And it's not like she had just a few good nights either. After the Olympic break, Mitchell went on a scoring spree, putting up 20 or more points in 7 straight games. Imagine trying to guard someone that reliable. Now, think about Mitchell teaming up with Caitlin Clark. We're talking about two of the top shooters in the game coming together. How are defenses supposed to handle that? Clark's college numbers are through the roof, and her knack for setting up her teammates is incredible. With Clark's playmaking skills and Mitchell's scoring, this could be the most exciting backcourt the WNBA has ever seen.
Because Kelsey Mitchell said basketball is a language and you have to get on the same page. Me and Caitlin like to play fast and up-tempo, and I'm always going to align based on how she's playing and how she's going.
Here's where things get really interesting. Kelsey Mitchell is a free agent right now. The Fever have to re-sign her, right? But at what price? We're talking about a player who has been the heart and soul of the team. Even the Fever's president said they wouldn't be where they are today without her. That kind of praise doesn't come cheap. So, let's break down what it might actually take to keep Mitchell in Indiana. Spoiler alert, it's a hefty sum. We're talking about a Supermax qualifying offer of around $250,000. That's a big investment, but can the Fever really afford to let Mitchell go?
Look, we're going to evaluate everything and have those types of discussions with her.
Here's the thing. It's not only about the money, it's about building a championship caliber team. That's where Caitlin Clark comes into play. Bringing her on board isn't just about her own skills. It's about how she can make everyone around her better, especially a scorer like Mitchell.
But all signs point to her returning, including her and Clark attending the Pacers and Grizzlies game.
You might be wondering if these two can really work together. Won't they end up competing for shots? But that's the best part. Clark isn't just a scorer. She's a true playmaker, and Mitchell has already proven she can thrive alongside other star guards. This isn't about two players battling for the spotlight. It's about two stars joining forces to create something that's even better than what they could achieve individually.
Kelsey Mitchell has been an all-star, but she had the stage, the bright lights, and everybody could see what kind of bucket getter she is. Plus, Caitlin draws the defense. Kelsey gets to go one-on-one and put her skills on display.
Wow. People are done with NaLyssa Smith. Traitor. Get her off the team. Adios amigos, as that guy said.
NaLyssa Smith, the star of the Indiana Fever, might actually be at the heart of the team's struggles. Hard to believe, right? You're probably thinking, wait, isn't she one of their top players? Well, get ready because we're about to dig into what's really happening with the Fever. So, what's going on with NaLyssa Smith? And why is her future with the team suddenly uncertain? We're about to dive into all the details causing a stir in the Fever's locker room. But here's the twist. it's not what you'd expect. The reasons behind this surprising situation are going to catch you off guard.
You know, I believe truly in my heart that connected teams are winning teams. And so people who fit, players who fit the culture of the Indiana Fever and where we are and where we're moving towards.
You know something's up when a new coach starts emphasizing culture and everyone embracing their roles, right? Well, that's exactly what happened when Stephanie White took over at the Indiana Fever. Let's go back to her first press conference. It was all smiles and big ambitions, but something didn't quite add up. White kept going on about building around a core group of 3, and it felt a bit off.
Caitlin Clark, a generational player, and Aaliyah Boston, certainly when you think about back-to-back Rookie of the Years and what each of those players have done up until this point for their universities, in the game of basketball, for the women's basketball culture and community. It's unprecedented. And to be able to work with those guys and Kelsey Mitchell, who I think has weathered the storm of Indiana Fever basketball, and I felt like had the best year of her career, this year. And really, when you think about teams, you think about a core 3, right? You think about a big 3, and to be able to work with that big 3.
But wait a minute. Where does NaLyssa Smith fit into all of this? You'd expect a former number 2 overall pick to be front and center, right? But no, Smith's name didn't even come up. You might be thinking, maybe she just forgot to mention Smith. But let's be real, this is a player who was supposed to be the future of the franchise.
We want players that will fit in seamlessly with our core 3, which includes Kelsey Mitchell. We want players to fit in seamlessly with the core 3. We want players that will play a role and will embrace their role. And we want players that will fit in with the culture and the team.
The new coach kept emphasizing words like unity and commitment. Pretty subtle, right? It felt like she was sending a message without saying it outright. But White didn't stop there. She kept talking about what she wants in a player. She made a point of saying that success isn't just about individual talent. It's about a team's willingness to go to battle together every single day. Is it just me? Or does that sound like she's taking a direct shot at someone?
Because every single thing that she described wanting to build around Kelsey Mitchell, Caitlin Clark, and Aaliyah Boston is the opposite of what NaLyssa Smith is.
It gets even more interesting. White started outlining what she wants in her ideal player, and it was almost as if she was reading off an anti-NaLyssa checklist. She mentioned wanting players who can embrace their roles and fit in seamlessly with the core 3. Ouch, that's got to sting if you're Smith, right? Well, it's becoming pretty clear that White's vision for the Fever's future doesn't seem to include Smith. She's focused on building a team of players who are fully committed to each other and the franchise's long-term goals. And let's be honest, with all the drama surrounding Smith lately, it's tough to see how she fits into that picture.
To another level. You've got incredibly talented players right here in Caitlin and Aaliyah and Lexi, a team that was incredibly fun to watch, very tough to game plan against. So I'm glad I'm going to get to work with you guys, work with you ladies, instead of having to think about how to stop you.
You think he can be as good as Steph Curry in the NBA?
Heck no! He's gonna be better than Steph Curry in the NBA.
LaMelo Ball has rapidly ascended to become one of the NBA's most electrifying young stars. This season alone, he's averaging an impressive 31 points, 7 assists, and 5 rebounds per game. Since joining the Charlotte Hornets, LaMelo has transformed the franchise from a mid-market, underwhelming team into one of the league's most entertaining squads. LaMelo and his enthusiastic fans are embracing the idea that he has now surpassed Steph Curry and other NBA superstars. But is this claim really true? While some agree, let's dive into the facts and analyze the evidence to uncover the truth behind this bold narrative. Born in 2001 to LeVar and Tina Ball, LaMelo was destined for basketball greatness. LeVar Ball, known for his larger-than-life personality and bold claims about his own athletic prowess, played basketball for a year at Washington State University, averaging just 2 points per game. After his brief stint in college basketball, LeVar pivoted to football, playing for minor pro teams and spending time on NFL practice squads. Despite his efforts, he never made it to the big leagues. Determined to have 3 sons all reach the NBA, LeVar sought a partner who met his athletic and genetic standards, leading him to Tina Ball. Standing at just over 6 feet and a former college basketball player herself, Tina was the perfect match. Together, LeVar and Tina began training their 3 sons, Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo, in basketball from the moment they could walk. This intense early training laid the foundation for what would become a basketball dynasty. Typically, in families with multiple children playing the same sport, the eldest often shines the brightest, with younger siblings striving to keep up. For LaMelo, the youngest Ball brother, this dynamic pushed him to excel beyond his years. To compete with his older brothers, LaMelo played up a grade level, fostering adaptability and resilience against tougher competition. This early exposure to higher levels of play was crucial in shaping his competitive spirit and versatile skill set. By high school, the Ball family had become renowned in the basketball community. The 2016 Chino Hills basketball team, featuring Lonzo, LiAngelo, LaMelo, and future Hawks forward Onyeka Okongwu, is often hailed as one of the greatest high school teams ever. They finished the season undefeated at 35-0, defeating numerous top-tier private schools and showcasing a blend of talent, teamwork, and unorthodox playing styles. As a freshman, LaMelo contributed as a spot-up shooter, demonstrating impressive range and fearless confidence. While his passing was secondary to Lonzo's primary ball handling role, LaMelo showcased quick outlet passes in transition. Defensively, his slight frame and occasional lack of focus were evident weaknesses, but these years were crucial in building his fearless approach to the game. The following season, with Lonzo departing for college basketball, LaMelo stepped into a more prominent role. Although Chino Hills didn't maintain an undefeated record, their dominance was clear, often playing with a sense of ease and confidence that belied their competition. LaMelo delivered memorable performances that captivated audiences and scouts alike. In one game, he scored an astonishing 92 points by cherry-picking, dominating the scoreboard with a blend of creativity and sheer determination. Another standout moment came when he drained a half-court shot just 5 seconds into a game, setting the tone with an audacious display of skill. Despite the playful trolling from opponents and spectators, it was evident that LaMelo possessed enormous potential. As Chino Hills' primary scorer and playmaker during his sophomore year, LaMelo led the offense with highlight-worthy moments that kept fans on the edge of their seats. His willingness to drive to the basket increased, though his shot selection leaned heavily on deep three-pointers. His passing evolved into a flashy, yet sometimes inefficient mix of high-risk, high-reward decisions. Defensively, his minimal effort and lack of discipline remained areas for growth, but his offensive prowess continued to shine. LeVar Ball became increasingly vocal online, leveraging his son's growing popularity and Lonzo's success in college. He famously claimed that Lonzo was better than Steph Curry during Lonzo's college days, and went as far as stating that LaMelo would surpass Curry in the NBA. LeVar's bold statements often sparked debates and controversies, keeping the Ball family in the media spotlight. To capitalize on his son's talent, LeVar launched the Big Baller brand, creating signature shoes for Lonzo, LiAngelo, and LaMelo. This move, however, violated NCAA rules regarding amateur status, causing LaMelo to lose his college eligibility. Dissatisfied with changes in Chino Hills' coaching and administration, LeVar decided to pull LaMelo out of high school before his junior year, seeking alternative paths to professional basketball. LeVar then took LaMelo and LiAngelo to Lithuania to play professionally for the Prienai Basketball Club. This move came after LiAngelo faced an indefinite suspension from the UCLA basketball team due to a theft incident in China. In Lithuania, LaMelo struggled to adapt to the structured professional system, primarily serving as a bench player. Scoring consistently against older, stronger competition was challenging, and he was often limited to spot-up shooting. While his playmaking ability showed glimpses, his immature decision-making and defensive lapses were exposed by disciplined European players. Despite these challenges, the experience was invaluable, teaching him the importance of structured and disciplined play. After averaging 6.5 points per game in 12 minutes for Priyanai, LeVar pulled LaMelo from the team, believing the coach wasn't providing enough playing time. This stint effectively ended any hopes of LaMelo playing college basketball, forcing him to seek alternative paths to continue his basketball career. Undeterred by his experiences in Lithuania, LeVar Ball launched the Junior Basketball Association as an alternative to college basketball. The JBA was designed to allow players to turn professional and earn money before entering the NBA. LaMelo was the star of the Los Angeles team, where he averaged nearly 40 points, 15 rebounds, and 12 assists, leading his team to the championship. However, the JBA faced criticism for its low competition level and lack of subsequent seasons, with many players claiming they were never paid, thereby wasting their chances to play college basketball. In the JBA, LaMelo thrived as the league's marquee player, dominating offensively and showcasing his creativity in playmaking. His defensive effort remained minimal, but the experience helped him regain confidence and momentum after his struggles in Lithuania. The JBA served as a platform for LaMelo to refine his skills and maintain his visibility in the basketball world, setting the stage for his next move. Following the JBA, LaMelo returned to high school for his senior year at Spire. Here, he presented a more mature and polished game, emerging as a true team leader. Offensively, he balanced his ability to hit deep three-pointers with an increased willingness to drive to the rim. Improved body control and creativity around the basket made him a more versatile scorer. As a playmaker, his court vision and basketball IQ shone, orchestrating Spire's offense with both flashy and smart, efficient decisions. Defensively, LaMelo began to make strides, utilizing his 6'7" frame and long wingspan to disrupt passing lanes and contest shots. While not yet a lockdown defender, his improved presence hinted at his potential on the defensive end. His leadership and maturity set him apart, blending individual brilliance with team success and silencing critics who questioned his commitment and maturity. After graduating high school, LaMelo signed with the Illawarra Hawks in Australia's National Basketball League, marking a transformative chapter in his career. In the NBL, he thrived in a structured yet fast-paced environment, displaying significant growth in decision-making and adaptability. Offensively, LaMelo showcased his versatility, scoring from all three levels and improving his ability to attack the rim with size, agility, and creativity. His elite playmaking stood out, with advanced court vision and the ability to elevate his teammates through pinpoint passes and orchestrated offensive plays. Defensively, LaMelo made noticeable improvements, using his physical attributes to disrupt opponents. His time in the NBL prepared him for the NBA's physicality, refining his body and mindset for the next level. By season's end, he was awarded the NBL Rookie of the Year, solidifying his status as a top NBA prospect despite missing games due to injury. Entering the 2020 NBA Draft, many expected LaMelo to be the first overall pick. However, he fell to the Charlotte Hornets, who selected him as their new hope. This unexpected turn became a defining moment for both LaMelo and the Hornets. In his rookie season, LaMelo made an immediate impact, becoming one of the most exciting young players in the league. His dazzling passes, fearless drives to the rim, and ability to orchestrate the Hornets' offense made him an instant fan favorite. LaMelo was named NBA Rookie of the Year, averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 6 assists, firmly establishing himself as a promising young star. In his second season, LaMelo increased his averages to 20 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists, earning an all-star appearance as an injury replacement for Kevin Durant. Despite his individual improvement, the Hornets struggled, making the play-in tournament but being eliminated in the first game each of his first 2 seasons. The following seasons were marred by injuries. LaMelo broke his ankle in the 2022-23 season and faced another injury in 2023-24, limiting him to 58 games across those 2 years. Nonetheless, his stats continued to rise steadily, showcasing his resilience and dedication to improving his game despite setbacks. Entering the current season, LaMelo has proven all doubters wrong, playing like one of the league's best guards. Averaging 31 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists, he ranks second in the NBA in scoring. LaMelo's scoring is anything but traditional. He's hitting step-back and fadeaway threes, finishing layups at the rim, and toying with defenders just as he did at Chino Hills. His seemingly nonchalant attitude on the court adds to his effectiveness, making him unstoppable. LaMelo's ability to create his own shot while simultaneously setting up his teammates makes him a dual threat that defenses struggle to contain. His ball handling skills allow him to navigate through tight defenses, while his vision enables him to find open teammates in motion. This season, his confidence has soared, and his playmaking has reached new heights, further establishing him as a cornerstone for the Hornets' future. With his electrifying play and larger-than-life personality, LaMelo is not just chasing greatness, he's redefining what it means to be an NBA All-Star. While his individual performances aren't yet translating to team wins, the Hornets are in a rebuilding phase. If Charlotte can surround LaMelo with the right pieces, they could become a legendary team akin to the 2016 Chino Hills squad. The synergy between LaMelo and potential future acquisitions could lead to a renaissance for the Hornets, transforming them into perennial playoff contenders. Looking ahead, LaMelo Ball is poised to continue evolving into one of the NBA's biggest stars, inspiring the next generation of players and creating new opportunities both on and off the court. Whether leading the Hornets to the playoffs or making viral highlight reels, LaMelo Ball is a name destined to be remembered in basketball history. From the most infamous high school sensation of the social media era to a bona fide NBA star, LaMelo's story is one of the most compelling ever written, with many more chapters yet to be added before he eventually hangs up his jersey for good. Beyond his on-court prowess, LaMelo Ball has made significant strides off the court. His charismatic personality and active presence on social media have made him a relatable and influential figure among fans, especially the younger generation. LaMelo's involvement in various endorsements, partnerships, and his continued collaboration with the Big Baller brand highlight his entrepreneurial spirit and business acumen. Moreover, LaMelo's journey from high school phenom to international player and finally to NBA star serves as an inspiring tale for aspiring basketball players worldwide. His resilience in the face of setbacks, such as injuries and the challenges of adapting to professional play, underscores the importance of perseverance and adaptability in achieving one's goals. Could Satou Sabally join Caitlin Clark on the Indiana Fever? This could be the biggest WNBA story of the offseason, and the digital clues Sabally has been leaving suggest it's more than just speculation. Recently, the Indiana Fever said goodbye to Tamy Fagbenle, one of their key players early in the season. While this may seem like a typical off-season move, it could be setting the stage for something massive. Satou Sabally, the Dallas Wings all-star forward, has made it clear she's a free agent and has been subtly hinting at her interest in joining the Fever. From strategically liking social media posts to engaging with content about teaming up with Caitlin Clark, Sabally's actions are speaking volumes.
So she's come out and said she's a free agent, and then Overtime said Satu teaming up with Caitlin, kinda here for that narrative.
On Instagram, Sabally has been particularly active. After announcing her free agency, she began liking posts about the Fever and their potential super team with Caitlin Clark. What's notable is her complete lack of engagement with posts from fans of other teams, including vocal Chicago Sky supporters. This is calculated. Sabally has even liked fan-created graphics showing her in a Fever jersey, something rare in a league where players typically avoid tampering speculation. This isn't just random behavior. The timing and pattern of her activities suggest intent. After the college season began and Caitlin Clark started dominating headlines, Sabally's engagement with Indiana-related content escalated. It's clear she's intrigued by what the Fever are building. Why does this matter? The Fever are at a pivotal moment. They have Aaliyah Boston, who had a historic season, and of course, we all know what Caitlin Clark has been up to. But they still need a veteran superstar to complete the picture. Sabally, at 6 feet 4 inches with guard-like skills, could be the missing piece. Last season, Sabally averaged nearly 19 points and 8.5 rebounds per game. She's a versatile forward who can stretch the floor, defend multiple positions, and dominate in the paint. Pairing her with Boston and Clark would create a lineup that's not just competitive, but potentially dominant for years. And let's not forget Kelsey Mitchell, a proven scorer who would thrive with defenses unable to focus solely on her. But how could the Fever actually get Sabally? The Wings could use the core designation to retain her rights, similar to the franchise tag in other sports. However, history shows that forcing players to stay often backfires. Elena Delle Donne and Diana Taurasi both pushed their way to preferred destinations despite being cored. A sign and trade deal might be the best solution for all parties. A likely trade package could include NaLyssa Smith, the 8th pick in the upcoming draft, and a future first-round pick. Smith is a promising young forward with significant upside, and the draft pick would allow Dallas to add more young talent. For the Fever, giving up these assets is worth it to secure a proven superstar like Sabally. This potential move isn't just about the Fever, it's about the league. With super teams already established in New York and Las Vegas, the WNBA needs another team to balance the competitive landscape. Adding Sabally to a young core led by Boston and Clark could make Indiana that team. It would also shift the narrative around Indiana as a free agent destination, turning them into one of the most exciting franchises in the league. The timing is perfect for both Sabally and the Fever. At 25 years old, Sabally is entering her prime. The Fever have cap space to offer a max contract without compromising their roster, thanks to their young core still being on rookie deals. Bringing in Sabally would solidify their transformation from a rebuilding team to a legitimate contender. This move could also have a ripple effect beyond basketball. The Fever would instantly become one of the most marketable teams in the league, drawing attention to a smaller market and contributing to the WNBA's growth. Sabally joining forces with Clark and Boston wouldn't just create a team, it would create a dynasty capable of dominating the league for years to come.
I'm really excited for this new beginning and to build something from the ground up here with the Valkyries.
As the WNBA undergoes its first expansion in nearly 20 years, the Golden State Valkyries step onto the scene, poised to make a significant impact. Kate Martin makes her much-anticipated return to the court, now proudly wearing the new franchise's jersey and shouldering immense expectations. Unfortunately, A'ja Wilson is displeased with this development and appears to hold resentment toward Kate, viewing her actions as a betrayal.
Yeah, honestly, my focus has just been getting better. I mean, all around. Like, I had a decent rookie season, but I just know something that's really cool about me is that my ceiling is very high.
Meanwhile, reigning MVP A'ja Wilson is feeling increasing pressure as she watches rivals and newcomers aggressively enhance their game. With Caitlin Clark already emerging as the next major star, brace yourself for a season that promises a true transformation on the court. Envision the scenario after many years without a significant shift. The WNBA is finally undergoing a substantial expansion. The last time something of this magnitude occurred was nearly 2 decades ago, and now the Golden State Valkyries are stepping into the league with all the fanfare and excitement.
I have a lot of room to grow. Always working on my shot, always working on being quicker, but
behind the scenes, analysts, players, and fans were restless, eagerly speculating about the names selected in the WNBA expansion draft. Amid corridor whispers, leaked information, and bold assumptions, one name stood out: Kate Martin, officially chosen by the Golden State Valkyries. Her acquisition is poised to shift the league's power dynamics, directly impacting established stars like current MVP A'ja Wilson. With the Valkyries entering the league amidst the first major expansion in nearly 2 decades, Kate Martin becomes a central figure for the ambitious new franchise. Her presence not only energizes the already massive fan base, but also signifies the Valkyries' intent to make a significant mark. This move heightens the competition for A'ja Wilson, who now faces intensified pressure from new teams, emerging talents, and the rising star Caitlin Clark, who is quickly becoming a top contender for the MVP title. The upcoming season is set to be transformative, with the WNBA experiencing a true revolution on the court. The Golden State Valkyries, backed by Kate Martin, are ready to challenge the status quo, while the Indiana Fever are meticulously rebuilding to reclaim their prominence. This creates a multifaceted threat landscape for Wilson and the Las Vegas Aces as they navigate not only traditional rivals, but also fresh talent eager to ascend. Caitlin Clark's emergence adds another layer of excitement and tension. Her offensive prowess, court vision, and magnetic personality position her as a formidable rival to Wilson, potentially leading to a fierce MVP showdown. Meanwhile, the Indiana Fever, despite losing some players in the expansion draft, are strategically assembling a team hungry for victory, ensuring that the competition remains fierce and unpredictable. As the WNBA grows with new teams and rising stars, the stage is set for a season filled with tight confrontations, strategic trades, and intense behind-the-scenes maneuvers. The clash between the Golden State Valkyries, Indiana Fever, Las Vegas Aces, and standout players like A'ja Wilson and Caitlin Clark will define the league's future. Fans can look forward to thrilling matchups and the rise of new legends as the WNBA continues to evolve. The central question remains: who will emerge victorious as the league undergoes these profound transformations? Will Kate Martin lead the Valkyries to success and become their iconic face? Can the Indiana Fever reinvent themselves and challenge the established powerhouses? And will A'ja Wilson maintain her MVP status against the rising threat of Caitlin Clark? These answers will unfold on the court, making the upcoming season one of the most exciting and pivotal in WNBA history.
The reality is that, as from a marketing perspective, Caitlin Clark is worth more than almost any pro basketball player in the world. If we're like purely talking about giving the money for endorsement deals.
Today, we're diving into the real story behind Caitlin Clark's wealth. Her WNBA salary? Just the tip of the iceberg. Discover how she's cashing in big with speaking gigs that outpace her on-court earnings. The game-changing impact of her endorsements with State Farm and Wilson, and why her Nike deal could spark some serious drama. Let's break it all down.
Which was mental. which was absolutely mental.
Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll understand why Caitlin Clark is poised to become the next powerhouse in sports marketing, and why some top brands might be kicking themselves for not jumping on board sooner.
Higher than the NBA. So I was like, oh, what's she gonna get paid? Because finally, you can get a real paycheck. And then I saw it and I was like, this can't be right. Because this is what it is. In the first year, Caitlin Clark will earn $76,535.
Can you believe that Caitlin Clark, the basketball sensation electrifying the courts, is set to earn a mere $76,535 in her rookie WNBA season? That's less than many entry-level office positions. When compared to NBA salaries, the disparity is glaring, leading many to argue that players like Clark are being undervalued by the league. However, this modest salary doesn't tell the whole story. Let's explore why Clark isn't losing sleep over her WNBA paycheck. While $70,000 might not scream superstar salary, it's actually just the beginning of Caitlin Clark's financial story. Here's the twist. The WNBA isn't just a paycheck, it's her secret weapon. The league offers something far more valuable than money: visibility. Think about it. Every time Clark steps onto the court, millions tune in. Her games dominate national broadcasts. Her highlight reels flood social media, and her name is on everyone's radar. This kind of exposure is a goldmine for marketing opportunities, turning her platform into a multi-million-dollar springboard.
Like, whatever really happens with Caitlin Clark, I would say her big thing is to be ready for the WNBA season. And people are like, why? She's only making $70,000 in the WNBA. What is the point of her worrying about that league rather than trying to push for other leagues and other ways of making more money? Because the WNBA is what's getting the most eyes.
Think about it. When Caitlin Clark sinks a deep three-pointer or threads an impossible pass, you're witnessing more than just incredible basketball. You're watching a brand come to life. Every crossover, every jaw-dropping assist, every buzzer beater isn't just a highlight. It's another opportunity for Clark to show the world her magic. And trust me, the world is paying attention. So, how is Clark turning all this visibility into cash? That's where it gets really exciting. Her modest WNBA salary is just the beginning, opening the floodgates to a slew of opportunities off the court. We're talking about endorsement deals, speaking gigs, and partnerships that could eclipse her league earnings many times over. And then there's the game changer, the Unrivaled League.
And it has also been reported that Unrivaled 3-on-3 League offered Caitlin Clark significant equity in the league and a salary that is over $1 million. So this is the first time that we've heard of any money being thrown at her. We've heard that it would be a major deal. It would be a similar setup as to what Messi got.
You've probably heard the buzz. Some people are saying Clark should ditch the WNBA and join Unrivaled, where she could be raking in millions from the start. But here's the kicker. Clark turned it down. Clark's playing the long game here. Sure, Unrivaled might offer a fatter paycheck right out of the gate, but the WNBA provides something Unrivaled can't touch yet: a proven platform with a loyal fan base and major media deals that guarantee her visibility on a national scale. So, next time someone complains about Caitlin Clark's $70,000 WNBA salary, remember this: it's just the tip of the iceberg. Clark isn't just dominating the court, she's rewriting the playbook on how athletes build their brands. And trust me, this is only the beginning of what she's capable of. Clark's most valuable skill might not even be her basketball prowess, it's her ability to talk. But we're not talking about post-game interviews. No, Clark is raking in six figures for speaking engagements that take less time than a single quarter of basketball.
I think she's either one, if she shows up to somewhere, you're probably paying her $2,000 to $3,000 or $200,000 to $300,000, or it's free. I think she probably does a lot of things for free. Like, that would be my prediction, is that if she wants to be somewhere and she just wants to help out, she'll do quite a few things for free. But if she's not doing it for free, I would say her cost is crazy high.
You heard that right. Caitlin Clark is absolutely dominating on stage 2. Her speaking engagements are becoming the stuff of legend, and the numbers are jaw-dropping. Let's break it down. Clark's virtual speaking fee kicks off at $100,000 for just 30 minutes of her time. In less time than it takes to watch half an episode of a sitcom, she's earning more than most people make in an entire year. And for in-person appearances, companies are shelling out anywhere between $200,000 and $300,000. That's the price of a house in some parts of the country for just one appearance. Clark has already done at least 6 speaking engagements in the past year alone. Do the math, and you're looking at potential earnings in the millions. And it's not just in-person events. These gigs are happening online too, with big-name companies ready to pay top dollar for her words. But why are companies willing to shell out so much just to hear Clark speak? It all comes down to her star power. Every time Clark steps onto the WNBA court, her profile gets bigger. She's not just an athlete, she's a brand, an inspiration, a role model. Companies aren't just paying for her time, they're paying for the attention she commands, the excitement she stirs, and the influence she holds.